Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. Today is Wednesday, the 13th day of December. Ooh, the 13th. It's not a Friday, though. Wednesday the 13th, not nearly as scary for some reason. National Cocoa Day, National Day of the Horse, National Violin Day. So if you know a horse that plays a violin.
Day of the Horse.
Yeah, if you know a horse that plays a violin while drinking cocoa, today's their day.
Jeez.
National Cream Cheese Frosting Day, National Guard Birthday, U.S. National Guard Birthday today.
Fantastic.
And Pick a Pathologist Pal Day today.
Wow,
So-
that's random.
Yeah. So all the pathologists can be getting phone calls today. And I'm excited for my guest. His name is Dan Cummins. He's a very funny stand-up comic, and he's got a new comedy special, and it's out on YouTube. I love that. There's more and more comedians that are doing this, where they're putting out a comedy special, and they're making it free for anybody to watch on YouTube. I love that. I think that's cool. And I've watched this one. It's funny. I'll be chatting with Dan Cummins coming up.
Give yourself a little credit.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, but it can also be expensive. Are you still paying for last year's Christmas gifts? Maybe you need better credit cards. We'd love to help at bettercreditcards.com. Find a card that's a better fit for your needs. Some like cards with points or miles. Others just want a lower rate. Find what you're looking for at bettercreditcards.com.
Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. You know the type of guy, the guy who's the first in the office in the morning, the last to leave, the guy or the lady as well. It could be either. I don't know why they put guy in the story. Who worked on a new proposal all weekend and is always reachable even on vacation. Well, that person about whom everyone says that dude loves his job way too much. Well, it turns out he, or again, I'll say she, doesn't actually love the job that much. They're just an addict. New research from the University of Bologna
That's fitting.
shows that the mood of workaholics, those who suffer from an addiction to their work, is actually generally worse than the mood of others who are not doing those types of things. So that's kind of interesting. They concluded, as in other forms of addiction, the initial euphoria gives way to a negative emotional state that pervades the person even while at work, end quote. So... Well, I'm sad to hear that because I'm a little bit of an
You're very
workaholic,
definitely a
so.
workaholic, for
But I love
sure.
what I'm doing. I'm not upset.
Yeah,
Heidi's
I
going to
live
throw
with you.
a support meeting for me now. You don't
Yeah.
need to. I'm actually really good. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know that losing can definitely bring out the worst in some people, especially when it comes to sports fans? A new study suggests that sports teams' losses can trigger violent and irrational behavior among fans. Conducted in South America, the research analyzed the brain activity of a soccer fan, and they found that victory activates the brain's reward system. How about defeat?
Yeah, not good. I've actually seen some videos of, especially of soccer fans.
Well, defeat can impair a fan's cognitive control, raising the likelihood of violent or disruptive behavior. So I don't know why they thought they needed to do a study to find that out. All you have to
Exactly.
do is watch.
just one match.
It happens. And now here's the thing. Why do they do that? It doesn't say that in the study. I wish they would find a way to fix it, because if we could fix it, then now you've got to study. All right. We don't know everything, clearly, but now we kind of know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. The house from A Christmas Story apparently did not sell to a private owner after all. A group managing it has just announced a new owner, and it's one of their own. The property operates as a tourist attraction in Cleveland, giving people a chance to tour and even stay overnight. But last year, the company announced their plans to sell and find an owner who could either continue running it as a museum or live in it as their home. That sparked interest from a group of actors from the 1983 film, and it appears that that group would acquire the place but the deal must have fallen through because the business page for A Christmas Story House now says the new owner is the current CEO, Joshua Dickerson.
Okay.
So that's, here's the thing. At the end of the day, I'm glad that there's still somebody doing what they're doing because there are people who make a trip there this time of year. It's a big deal
all
to
the
them.
time, yeah.
And I kind of got lost down a rabbit hole watching way too much information about that because we've got a friend that was in the movie. And then I was like, what? I just spent like 3 hours watching stuff about this. Audience have a renewed interest in Squid Games. That's my next story on here. And the Kardashian-Jenner clan are one of the most famous families in Hollywood, but they say it's kind of a fluke. If you want more details on those two stories, since I talked way too much on the first one, you can read all three in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Give yourself a little credit.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, but it can also be expensive. Are you still paying for last year's Christmas gifts? Maybe you need better credit cards. We'd love to help at bettercreditcards.com. Find a card that's a better fit for your needs. Some like cards with points or miles. Others just want a lower rate. Find what you're looking for at bettercreditcards.com.
Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. 1 in 3 people admit that they've lied to their relatives to avoid having them over for the holidays.
Oh, jeez.
Like, oh, yeah, we're really sick here. You guys, yeah, you probably shouldn't come over. Then they get off the phone. They're like, oh, good, Grandma's not coming.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. How many times have our family lied to us so we wouldn't be living?
Probably more than we care to know.
No, I think for the most part, I think we've been pretty fortunate. All right, I have one story that I'm going to use for the rest of my minute and a half here. So take a listen to this. In December, right now, get set to see a lot of red and green, right? But also a lot of pink. And you can blame Barbie, the movie.
Yep, it's everywhere.
Barbie core seems to be spilling into the holiday season, and some fans are ditching the traditional colors of the season for all things pink. Unifurry, an online shop that sells customizable gifts, say that they've analyzed Pinterest trends, and they found that the search for pink Christmas tree has spiked by 286%.
You would lose your mind if you came home and I had up a pink Christmas tree.
You do what you want to do, Heidi. If you want to do that, do it. I just don't think it would look good in our house. I mean, nothing else is pink, but then again, maybe you just redo the whole place. The gifting experts say a pink Christmas tree is the perfect fun centerpiece for Christmas, offering a different touch to a traditional color scheme, and it's perfect for photo opportunities. Searches for pink Christmas decorations have gone up by 198%.
Wow.
They're warning us to prepare for pink baubles, tinsel, and lights, bringing a vibrant holiday atmosphere that is bound to delight. By the way, Amazon offers a selection of pink trees starting at $40. So that's apparently like a smaller tree. Here's my thing. Again,
is there a reason we just did a plug for Amazon?
No, I just read that was in the story, so I don't know. Maybe they sent me the thing. Anyway, no, I don't. But here's my thing: if you want to get a pink tree, that's cool. Keep in mind that movie, right now is popular, but like, what happens 10 years from now? You're like, oh, we still have that pink tree, unless you want to spray paint it, paint it green. You could probably paint any tree pink if you want to. All right, scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. Excited to visit with our guest today, very funny stand-up comic, Dan Cummins. He's got his 4th special out right now. It's called Trying to Get Better, and this is kind of cool. It's available for free on YouTube. More and more comics are doing that. He's got hundreds of thousands of views on this already, and Dan, I'm one of them. I watched it. I think it's very funny.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm happy that it's, getting out there and getting some decent feedback.
So this is not your first special. You've done several specials, but you've also done, albums and things as well, right?
Yeah, this one is, it's the 4th special, but it's like the 9th album or something. It does get, I've been doing it long enough where I'm like, wait a minute, what have I talked about? What have I done?
I suppose that would make it a little more difficult because you have to look back and go, okay, did I already do a joke about this on another special?
Oh, I've had that where I've been on stage, thinking I'm working on a new bit, and I'll do it a couple nights, and I'm like, wait a minute, I know why this sounds familiar. I did it, 11 years ago, or whatever. I'm having the same thoughts just cycling through my head.
And one of the things that I thought was kind of fun about this special, I think you said something along the lines of, I'm going to offend you eventually. If I don't get to you right away, just wait. Something like that. Because you say some things that divide people and maybe might upset some people, but by the end of the special, you bring everybody kind of back together. I think that's real nice.
Yeah, I think if somebody watches it all the way through, they'll see that it's pretty even-handed. What cracks me up is I can tell based on some comments that despite me saying that right at the start of the show, and also just trying to let the audience know, it's like, at the end of the day, who am I? Why would you actually care so much about what I say? You will just, get these knee-jerk reactions of, oh, you're that guy. And I'm like, oh, man, if you would have just waited 10 minutes, you would see me literally address people reacting like you're reacting right now.
And it seems that people get easily offended more now than they have in the past. And I don't know for sure, but it kind of feels to me like maybe this is tied to social media.
Oh, it totally does. It's these algorithms that, they find out what you like and they just feed you nothing but that. So they just create an echo chamber for you. It's like, oh, you like this kind of opinion? We're going to feed you the most of that opinion we can possibly feed you. And then it works people's brains, and they're like, oh, this is what everybody thinks. It's like, no, that's just what that one tiny little slice thinks. And it's like, social media definitely, I think, has been brainwashing people the last couple of years.
And it's not even just social media. That's also like the streaming platforms and YouTube. You'll watch a video, and they'll say, hey, based on you watching that video, you're also maybe going to like this video. And that can be a dangerous rabbit hole if you're like me, and I watch some really weird things.
Right. Right, me too.
But then you get way down the rabbit hole and you end up watching really weird movies. Like we watched one called Velocipaster. Now, I'm not recommending it.
That's a great title. That's funny.
Again, our guest right now, Dan Cummins. He's got his 4th comedy special out right now. Dan, you've had a chance to do some really fun stuff. If you had a chance to talk to like an 8-year-old little Dan Cummins, do you think that kid would believe all the cool things you get to do?
Yeah, I don't think so. It's been a fun ride. And I like where it's ended up where, now it's like where I'm at is I'm lucky enough to have an audience that kind of lets me talk about whatever I want to talk about. And I don't have to get any producer's approval to talk about certain things. And to have that kind of creative freedom, plus be able to, make a decent living at it, I'm super lucky.
In addition to stand-up comedy, you do a program called Time Suck, and that constantly ends up towards the top of all of the different services. It's a pretty popular program. That has to help the comedy career pretty substantially, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my career, I think, if it would have taken off, might have been over. I was having trouble selling tickets, but being able to reach people weekly helps build an audience in a way that I was never able to do before. And it changed everything.
Again, our guest, Dan Cummins. I'm going to throw a link to the new special on YouTube. I love that you have it on there for free. That's awesome. If people would like to follow you on social media, is there like a preferred one that they should follow you on?
Yeah, I like Instagram. It's just easy for me. I'm not, maybe I'm getting too old for TikTok, and then Facebook just has too many options for me. First, I like to be able to just scroll on IG and toss up pictures and goofy things and clips from stand-up. And yeah, I think Dan Cummins Comedy on Instagram is the best.
Perfect. I will be sure to share that in the show notes as well. Dan, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Again, Dan Cummins has been our guest on this comedy call, and his 4th comedy special is out right now. It's called Trying to Get Better. And like I said, it's on YouTube for free, which I think is really, really cool. I've got a link to that, and I'll put a link to his Instagram page as well in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Give yourself a little credit.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and it can also be expensive. Are you still paying for last year's Christmas gifts? Maybe you need better credit cards. We'd love to help at bettercreditcards.com. Find a card that's a better fit for your needs. Some like cards with points or miles. Others just want a lower rate. Find what you're looking for at bettercreditcards.com.
Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Elvis Presley owned $60,000 worth of prescription sunglasses when he died.
That's crazy.
That was in 1977 when he died. So think about
Hey,
how many
you
that
know
would
what?
be
He
now.
had the money to do it.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Giraffes are the only animal born with horns. Ouch.
Oh.
Imagine that. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
Was that John?
Nintendo's first products were not video games because they didn't exist yet. They were playing cards, and it was in the 1800s.
Oh.
Yes, Nintendo's been around a long, long
I
time.
had no idea.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The first product that Sony came out with was a rice cooker.
Really?
So think about all the things that Sony does now. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Google got its name from the word Google, Googol, which refers to the number 1 with 100 zeros after it.
Okay.
So then they said, hey, we're going to spell it this way, and now it's our word. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The human brain is composed of 60% fat, making our brain the fattest organ.
Oh.
So there you go. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question, Heidi. In a survey, 23% of people admitted they get a bit tipsy before going to this. What is it? I bet I could see this happening for a lot of people. This time
their
of year.
work Christmas party.
Yes, holiday office party. So, 23% of people admit they get a little tipsy before going to the holiday office party. Be very careful in doing this because there are people who lose their jobs because of being silly at the holiday party. So just be careful. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
Give yourself a little credit.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and it can also be expensive. Are you still paying for last year's Christmas gifts? Maybe you need better credit cards. We'd love to help at bettercreditcards.com. Find a card that's a better fit for your needs. Some like cards with points or miles. Others just want a lower rate. Find what you're looking for at bettercreditcards.com.
Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. On Wednesday, Japan held the first garbage collection world championship. This is from like a week ago. So if you're looking for it, it might be 2 Wednesdays ago. The Spogomi World Cup. Spogomi World Cup. It's a combination of the world's sports and gami, the Japanese word for garbage. So Sports Garbage World Cup. Featured teams of 3 from 21 different countries. They took to the streets of Tokyo to grab as much rubbish as they could within 1 hour. Britain made history by taking home the first ever title of the Spumami World Cup after earning 90,046 points for collecting, are you ready for this? 126.2 pounds of trash.
I have never heard of this before, ever.
It's brand new, Heidi. It's the first time they've ever done it.
Okay.
All the cool kids are going to do it next year. In total, all of the teams picked up 1,200 pounds of trash. They were assigned points based on what kind of junk they found. But they basically went out.
It's a pretty great idea.
Yeah.
It's a way to get the streets and everything cleaned up without having to pay anybody to do it.
Exactly. So I'm thinking, hey, we could probably host one of these. Maybe we'll do this next year. We'll have the weed pulling championships
That's
in our
pretty
yard.
fantastic.
I'm just saying. Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. This was sent to me. It's questions to ask after your interviewer says, any questions? It's very important to have a question, by the way.
Okay.
If you don't have a question, you could actually not get the job because you didn't ask a question.
Okay.
None of these are probably the right one. Like this one. Just how much liquor is considered drinking on the job? Don't ask that one. Another one. At what point in facial hair growth have I crossed the line into porn stash? Yeah, don't ask that. Can we swap shoes? I think I hear the cops. No, don't ask. These are all horrible.
I like the
you
can
wa-
we swap shoes?
Do you want to
one.
wear my ski mask for a little bit?
That would be so funny.
For instance purposes, which of us do you think would be the first to catch fire? Don't ask these questions. And my favorite on the list that they sent me, what is the capital of... They ask you, any questions? Yeah, what is the capital of Paraguay? Don't ask any of those. Here is the question that you ask for real. When they say, do you have any questions? You say, I have one question. When can I start? Only question you need to ask. If you don't have any other questions, at least ask that one. All right. Thanks for listening. It's The List, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Mitch Hedberg is who our quote's from today. I loved Mitch. He left way, way, way too young. Here's his quote. "I'm sick of following my dreams, man. I'm just going to ask where they're going, and we'll hook up with them later." He was such a funny dude, and he had such a weird outlook on life. He is a very, very funny comic. If you ever get a chance to just like watch mindlessly, watch some videos, Mitch Hedberg is a great one to do. He's our quote of the day. Comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Take a listen to this headline from California. This teen is bringing some color and fun to the elderly this holiday season. Teenager is ensuring the elderly are not overlooked this holiday season by spreading joy and warmth through her Silly Socks initiative. Have you seen this at all?
I have not.
Ellie Ganelli, a high school junior, says she proudly identifies as a, quote, grandma's girl. She's expressing profound love for her Nana. She said it was during her 7th grade year that she convinced Socks for Seniors. That's when she conceived this concept.
I love that.
She came up with the idea, a thoughtful venture aimed at delivering whimsical silly socks to residents at nursing and assisted
I love
facilities.
This so much.
The primary objective is to inject some vibrancy and fun into the lives of seniors through colorful footwear. Over the span of the last 4 years, Ellie has dispatched socks to an impressive 92 different facilities spanning 48 states, fostering numerous pen pal connections along the way. Says this means a pair of silly socks have made it on the feet of 4,812 lovely recipients, and she says we're just getting started. So Ellie acknowledges the hardships confronted by nursing home residents amid the holiday season, expressing concern that they're frequently neglected and overlooked. How sad is that? She said, I know we have things like toys for tots and a lot of things for kids, but we forget sometimes about seniors. As she prepares her shipments of socks for the holiday season, she's hoping to show that other people care too. In order to get as many out as she can, a GoFundMe campaign was started, and she has done pretty doggone well with her GoFundMe. She had a goal of raising $10,000, and she's exceeded that goal. So that, I think, is just phenomenal.
That can buy a lot of socks.
It can buy a lot of socks, and she plans to even have a bigger plan and a bigger goal for next year.
I love that.
You can see all the details in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show.